Okay, China wasn't the example I would have used for this, but the answer is yes, right? The answer is yes. You can have the benefits of capitalism without embracing the morality of capitalism for a while. Okay, and the example I would use for that is 19th century America, much more so than China. So 19th century America, clearly we embraced much of the practical side of capitalism, not completely, but to a large extent, and much of the political side of capitalism. But we didn't have a true moral defense of capitalism. The morality of self-interest, the morality of egoism did not exist. I mean, up until Ayn Rand, there was no morality of egoism, not as a full-fledged morality, certainly not as a morality defending capitalism. Now, there was in the 19th century a certain sense of individualism. There was a certain respect for the individual, which is fading today very fast in America, which allowed for capitalism to succeed and to thrive and to last for as long as it did, for over 100 years, and we still feel the remnants of it even to this day. But that's only because we set up a political system. Without those moral foundations, the Founding Fathers managed to set up a political system because they understood at some level the political issue of individualism. They didn't get the full ethical implication of that, but you can't come up with a statement like the inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness without being an individualist. So the Founding Fathers were individualists even though they didn't have the full moral defense of capitalism. But that's why it didn't last more than that 100 and something years. That's why capitalism comes under severe attack starting in the late 19th century, and really nobody has put up a real defense for it other than Ayn Rand. That's why it continuously is being chipped away and chipped away and chipped away, and why statism is only growing. And today, we don't even have any individualists. That is, today, almost all the politicians are collectivists. That whatever spirit the Founding Fathers had is gone. So my argument is yeah, there are going to be periods in history, in China maybe right now, where they're applying elements of capitalism, some elements of capitalism, right, in certain geographic areas and certain industries, and therefore you see increased economic growth and increased success and increased prosperity and the rise up out of poverty. But that's only sustainable for a while. There will be a day when the Chinese will have to choose between capitalism and between statism, they will have to choose between the morality of altruism, which is not very strong to begin with in China. They just don't have any morality. They're pragmatists primarily. But between pragmatism and some kind of egoism, if they don't adopt egoism, and I don't know how long that time frame, but if they don't adopt egoism, ultimately they won't achieve capitalism, and even the achievements that they have to this date will slowly fade away. In America, when we became more explicitly altruistic, and as we lost the individualism of the Founding Fathers towards the end of the 19th century into the 20th century, capitalism disappeared with it, with the benefits. Now, you could argue, but the U.S. economy has grown dramatically over the last 100 years. Yes, because of the remnants of capitalism, it continues to grow. Just imagine where we would be today if we'd been free for the last 100 years. Just imagine where we'd be today if the founders had discovered a morality of self-interest. Just imagine where we'd be today if in a sense, an Ayn Rand could have come up in the 19th century and discovered what she discovered and had an influence and being able to really have an influence in the culture. Where would we be today economically, from a wealth perspective, from a cultural perspective? It is night and day. So yes, we've grown over the last 100 years, but it's nothing as compared to what the real potential of capitalism has. So for capitalism to thrive, for capitalism to survive long-term, for us to get real capitalism, the full-fledged laissez-faire capitalism that we believed in, you have to have a moral foundation. You have to have it based on the morality of egoism.